In the small Nigerian village of Anaik, nestled by the edge of the Okoto forest and bordered by the sweeping plains of Koya, life was simple and filled with rhythm. The villagers worked their farms, tended their livestock, and honored the spirits of the forest and plains. Their village elder, Papa Arens, often shared stories of ancient creatures, guardians of the wild who tested the strength and unity of their people. But these were merely stories, or so everyone thought. That is until the night the lions came. Obi was only 16 but was known throughout Anaik as a sharp hunter. He was swift, steady-handed, and brave, though still untested in real danger. With the guidance of his father and the stories of the village hunters, Obi had become a natural in the bush. But that fateful night, as the village gathered under the stars, something changed. The drums were loud, laughter filled the air, and people gathered to celebrate the harvest. But as the music quieted, a faint roar echoed from the plains. Every sound, every voice stilled, and people looked to each other with unease. Papa Arens slowly rose, his wise old eyes fixed on the darkness beyond the village. "It has been many years," he murmured, "but the spirits of the plains have not forgotten us." The villagers knew what he meant. Lions had not been seen near Anaik for a generation, but stories of their ferocity were still fresh in people's minds. Baba Arens turned to Obi, his gaze piercing. "Tomorrow, we will see if your heart is ready, young hunter. For now, rest. You will need your strength." At dawn, Obi gathered with the village hunters and his father, Amici, a respected and seasoned warrior who had taught Obi everything he knew. The men looked toward the plains, where faint tracks marked the path of the lions. Fresh tracks, wide and deep, signs of a large pride. "These lions are not ordinary," Amici said. "Look at the size of these prints. Their leader is no mere lion, he must be as powerful as a spirit." Obi felt a shiver run down his spine. He clutched his spear and looked to the others, nodding with determination. As they followed the trail through the grasslands, signs of the pride became more frequent. Trampled plants, scattered bones, and claw marks on tree trunks revealed that this pride was growing bolder and hungrier. The hunters made a plan. They would scare the pride away by making noise, using their drums and fire, forcing the lions back to the deeper wilderness. Obi was assigned to follow his father closely, staying near the vanguard in case things went wrong. As night approached, the hunters set up camp on the plains, keeping watch on the surrounding grass. But before they could begin their plan, a roar shattered the silence, a deep, guttural sound that shook the very earth beneath them. It was the unmistakable call of a lion, and it was close. Emerging from the tall grass, the lions appeared, golden eyes gleaming under the moonlight. Their leader, a massive lion with a dark, streaked mane, stepped forward. He was larger than any lion Obi had ever imagined, his gaze intelligent, almost calculating. This was the lion Papa Arens had warned them of, a lion that seemed to carry the spirit of something ancient and powerful. The hunters held their ground, raising their spears, but the lion pride circled them slowly, never breaking their leader's eye contact with Amici, who stood at the front. The great lion let out another roar, this time softer, but it resonated deeply within Obi. He realized that the lion was not attacking. Instead, it felt like a challenge, as if the beast were asking them to prove themselves worthy. Amici looked back at Obi, signaling him to step forward. "Obi, the spirit seemed to have chosen you for this task." Obi's heart raced, but he stepped forward, gripping his spear tightly. He took a deep breath, meeting the lion's intense gaze. "I do not come to harm you," Obi said, his voice steady despite his nerves. "But I will protect my people. Leave this place, or we will fight." The lion growled, but it was a low, rumbling sound, as if it understood Obi's words. Suddenly, it lunged, but not at the hunters. Instead, it circled Obi, its massive paws pounding the earth with each step, testing him. Obi turned, keeping his spear pointed, moving carefully, mirroring the lion's movements, never breaking eye contact. For what felt like an eternity, the two circled each other. Finally, the lion stopped and looked at Obi with a respect that only another hunter could recognize. Then, the lion turned back toward the pride and let out a series of growls and chuffs, signaling his pride to retreat. The lions slowly faded back into the darkness, their golden eyes blinking out one by one until only Obi, his father, and the other hunters remained. Back in Anak, the villagers gathered anxiously, awaiting news. When Obi and the hunters returned, there were cheers and cries of relief. Papa Arins looked at Obi with pride, knowing that the young hunter had faced the lion not with violence, but with respect. "You showed the heart of a true warrior," Baba Arins said. "Sometimes, courage is about knowing when to stand firm and when to yield. You honored the spirits tonight, and they have given us peace." Obi's father embraced him, pride shining in his eyes. "You have become a hunter, my son, and perhaps more. Tonight, you became the protector of Anak." From that day on, Obi was celebrated as the hunter who saved Anak from the spirit lions. And though he knew he was still young, he felt a connection to the plains and its creatures that only deepened with time. The lions never returned to Anak, and the villagers thrived in harmony, knowing that their young hunter had passed the test of the lion's challenge.